What are modifications of the root? As we all know, that living things right from the tiny cyanobacteria to the giant blue whales, every living thing needs water to survive. Without water, life as we know it would not exist. But have you ever given much thought to how plants absorb water? Plants can absorb water through their entire surface, roots, stems, and leaves. But the root is the main organ for water absorption. Besides this, roots also anchor the plant body to the ground and gets modified into various forms for different functions. In this video, we will learn about the various modifications of the root. Modifications for support. Roots are modified into two different forms to give extra support to the plant. Number 1. Prop roots. The hanging roots of banyan trees are called prop roots, which provide mechanical support to the tree. Example, Ficus bengalensis. Number 2. Stilt roots. The supporting roots of sugarcane coming out of lower nodes of the stem are called stilt roots. Example, Saccharum officinarum. Modification for respiration. In plants growing in swampy areas, the roots grow vertically upward. Such roots are called pneumatophores, which help to get oxygen. Example, Avicennia germinaeus. Modifications for food storage. Tap roots of carrot, turnips, and adventitious roots of sweet potato get swollen and store food. These are some examples of different modification for food storage. Moniliform. Adventitious roots are swollen at frequent intervals. This gives the root a beaded appearance. Example, sweet potato, Ipomoea batatas. Conical. In the conical form of root modification, the roots are swollen and are broad at the base. The apex part gradually tapers, forming a cone-like structure. Example, carrot, Daucus carota. Fusiform is a modified taproot. The primary root of the system is swollen at the middle and the tapers gradually at both the ends, forming a spindle-shaped structure. Example, radish, Raphanus sativus. Napiform. The napiform roots are spherical in shape at the upper part and are sharply tapering towards the tip of the root. Example, beetroot, Beta vulgaris. Fasciculated. These are tuberous roots arising in the cluster from the base of the stem. Example, Asparagus officinalis. Nodulated. The roots having the irregular or the round mass or a lump called nodules within the cells are known as nodulated roots. Example, P. Pisum sativum. These were all the modifications of root. Let's answer a few questions asked on modification of roots in entrance exams. Question 1. Prop roots or pillar roots are: Number 1. Fasciculated. Number 2. Adventitious. Number 3. Tap. Number 4. Secondary. This question was asked in Manipur 2006. Solution. Prop roots are adventitious roots and modified for support. Hence, option 2 is correct. Question 2. Fusiform roots are found in: Number 1. Solanum tuberosum. Number 2. Daucus carota. Number 3. Colocasia. Number 4. Raphanus sativus. This question was asked in BHU 1996. Solution. Fusiform is a modified taproot. The primary root of the system is swollen at the middle and tapers gradually at both the ends, forming a spindle-shaped structure. Example, Raphanus sativus. Hence, option 4 is correct. What are the modifications of the stem? Have you ever stopped to take a look at the plants around you and think about the stems? The stem is the ascending part of the plant bearing branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits. Stem has two parts, nodes and internodes. Nodes are the parts of the stem where leaves are grown, while internode is the portion between two nodes. Besides this, stems undergo modifications in order to perform the additional function like storage, support, vegetative propagation. In this video, we will learn about the different modifications of a stem. Number 1. Aerial modifications. It is the modification to aerial stems and floral buds of plants which perform the functions such as climbing, protection, synthesis of food, etc. Different examples of the aerial modifications are tendrils. They are the modified axillary buds of the stems. They are slender and spirally coiled. It helps the plants in climbing. Examples: vitis. Phyloclad. Plants of arid regions modify their stems into flattened structures to reduce water loss called phyloclad, resembling leaves. Example: Phyllanthus. Thorns. Axillary buds of stems sometimes get modified into woody, straight and pointed structures called thorns. Example: Hygrophila and Crasa. Bulbils. A small bulb-like structure, in particular, one axil of the leaf which forms a new plant if fallen. Example: Agave. Cladode. They are flattened leaf-like stem consisting of one internode only. Example: Opuntia. Number 2. Sub-aerial modifications. These are the modifications of stem for vegetative propagation, and they are of following types. Runner. It is a stem portion of the plant that tends to grow horizontally as opposed to upright like the main stem. The end tip of the runner produces buds that develop into a new plant. Example: strawberry and oxalis. Stolon. The stems which grow at the soil surface or just below ground that form adventitious roots to the nodes and new plants from the buds. Example: hawkweeds. Offset. They are just like runners but are short and thicker and is found in aquatic plants. Example: Ecornia crecipes and Pistia stratiodes. Suckers. The plants developed from other underground parts are called suckers. Example: Chrysanthemum mentha. Rhizome. These are the continuously growing horizontal underground stem which puts out lateral shoots and adventitious roots at intervals, but is divided into nodes and internodes. Example: ginger. Tubers. They are a much thickened underground part of a stem or rhizome, serving as a food reserve and bearing buds from which new plants develop. Example: potato. Corm. The corm, sometimes called as rock bulb, is a condensed vertical rootstock with large apical buds. Adventitious roots may grow either from the base or all over its body. Example: gladioli. Bulb. It is an underground modified bud with a reduced stem and fleshly scale leaves growing from it. Example: onion and garlic. This covers the different types of stem modification. Let's solve some important questions from medical entrance exams. Question: ginger is a stem which can be differentiated from root because of Number 1. Grows parallel to the ground. Number 2. Stores food. Number 3. Lacks chlorophyll. Number 4. Has nodes and internodes. This question was asked in MPPMT 2007. Solution: ginger, which is a rhizome, is continuously growing a horizontal underground stem, bearing nodes and internodes. Hence, option 4 is the right answer. Question: type of stem structure present in Colocasia is Number 1. Corm. Number 2. Bulb. Number 3. Rhizome. Number 4. Tuber. This question was asked in AFMC 2010. Solution: stem of Colocasia is modified into an underground structure called corm. Hence, option 1 is the right answer. Question: pneumatophores are a characteristic feature of Number 1. Hydrilla. Number 2. Typha. Number 3. Rhizophora. Number 4. Banyan. This question was asked in Bihar PMT 2001. Solution: pneumatophores are modified stem grown vertically upward to obtain oxygen in swampy areas. Hence, option 3 is the right answer. This concludes our video on stem and its modifications. What are leaves and its types? Do you know which part of a plant is called kitchen of a plant? You might be thinking about green colored leaves. Yes, it's true. Each leaf on a tree is like a tiny solar panel, gathering sunlight which the tree uses to make food. Sunlight helps turn water and carbon dioxide into oxygen and glucose, a sugar that tree uses for food to grow. This process of converting water and carbon dioxide into oxygen and glucose is called photosynthesis. Leaves provide food and oxygen, that's why they're considered as the most important organ of the plants. So let's learn more about this important part of a plant. The leaf is a lateral, generally flattened structure borne on the stem. It develops at the node and bears a bud in its axil. Leaves originate from shoot apical meristems and are arranged in an acropetal order. They are the most important vegetative parts. A typical leaf consists of three main parts: leaf base, petiole, and lamina. The leaf is attached to the stem by the leaf base and may bear two lateral small leaf-like structures called stipules. In monocotyledons, the leaf base expands into a sheath covering the stem partially or wholly. While in some leguminous plants, the leaf base may become swollen, which is called the pulvinus. The petiole helps to hold the blade to lie. Long, thin and flexible petioles allow leaf blades to flutter in wind, thereby cooling the leaf and bringing fresh air to the leaf surface. The lamina or the leaf blade is the green expanded part of the leaf with veins and veinlets. There is usually a middle prominent vein which is known as the midrib. The arrangement of veins and the veinlets in the lamina of the leaf is termed as venation. When the veinlets form a network, the venation is termed as reticulate. While the veins run parallel to each other within a lamina, the venation is termed as parallel. Leaves of dicotyledonous plants generally possess reticulate venation, while parallel venation is the characteristic of most monocotyledons. Let's move to learn about types of leaves. There are about two types of leaves: simple and compound. A leaf is said to be simple when its lamina is entire or when incised, the incisions do not touch the midrib. While in other condition, the incisions of the lamina reach up to the midrib, breaking it into a number of leaflets, and leaf is called a compound. The compound leaves may be of two types: pinnately and palmately. In a pinnately compound leaf, a number of leaflets are present on a common axis, the rachis, which represents the midrib of the leaf as in neem. While in palmately compound leaves, the leaflets are attached at a common point, that is, at the tip of the petiole as in silk cotton. Let's solve some important questions asked in medical entrance exams. Question 1. Parallel venation is found in number 1. Monocot stem, number 2. Monocot leaf, number 3. Dicot stem, number 4. Dicot root. This question was asked in AFMC 2006. Solution. When the veins run parallel to each other within a lamina of a leaf, the venation is termed as parallel and is common in monocotyledons. Hence, option 2 is correct. Question 2. Palmately compound leaves are found in number 1. Apple, number 2. Orange, number 3. Lemon, number 4. Silk cotton. This question was asked in CPMT 2011. Solution. In palmately compound leaves, the leaflets are attached at a common point, that is, at the tip of the petiole, as in silk cotton. Hence, option 4 is correct.